Companies and organizations across industries must undergo two fundamental transformations: a technology transformation and a sustainability transformation. In a time of exponential change, they need to do both at the same time to find new sources of value. In fact, Accenture's recent global research study found that companies pursuing this approach are 2.5 times more likely to be among tomorrow's strongest performing businesses. For the mobility sector, the opportunity ahead of us and the urgency at which we must act are unparalleled. By 2030, we need to reduce absolute carbon emissions across the sector by at least 50%. If we are to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement to limit global warming to only 1.5 degrees Celsius. We also need to dramatically reduce resource consumption throughout the ecosystem. Through advanced technologies and innovation, the mobility sector can deliver on these goals, accelerate recovery from the pandemic, and position companies for future growth.
Global demand for car-based mobility is likely to increase by 70% by 2030. But as Julie mentioned, the sector needs to reduce absolute carbon emission by at least 50% over the same time period. So how are we going to achieve this? Well, it's not all doom and gloom. Much is being done already to solve the tension between more mobility and more environmental sustainability. The shift from the fossil fuel-driven internal combustion engine to renewable fuel sources and electrification has become an imperative. Electrification of the drivetrain combined with the use of renewable electricity has the potential to reduce carbon emission by 2/3. But the industry needs to go further. Companies increasingly understand the importance of looking beyond the use phase of cars. Many are now adopting circular manufacturing processes to help reduce both carbon emissions and the consumption of scarce resources throughout the entire value chain. How we design, manufacture, use, and treat cars at the end of the life phase will play an important role. However, more progress is needed, and we must look to the phenomenal advances in technology to achieve a net zero circular automotive industry. Or better, can you imagine a future car that contributes positively to the environment? Let's take a look at 3 key technologies in particular, which are having a significant impact across the value chain. Let me start with the digital twin technology, also referred to as virtual twin. This technology is a real-time virtual replica of a product, a platform, or an ecosystem. It can model, visualize, predict, and provide feedback on product properties and behaviors. The digital twin is already being widely applied throughout the entire automotive industry. For example, in the development of electric vehicle batteries, product developers are using CO2 data to improve carbon efficiency and abrasion data to improve material efficiency. And manufacturers of electric vehicle batteries and components report a 20 to 30% potential of life extension of their batteries. In R&D, digital twin technology replaces physical prototyping, reducing carbon emission, resource use, cost, and time to market. As a result, more testing becomes economically viable, which can enhance the quality and efficiency of the product. This key technology also facilitates the development of autonomous vehicles, providing extensive and important training data from testing in a simulated environment, and improves product lifecycle management. The second key technology is Digital Product Passport. It is closely linked to the digital twin. It provides a virtual identity or stamp to a product enabling a wide range of stakeholders across the value chain to share information on product material content, flow, and condition. The digital product passport relies on unique identifiers such as QR codes and sensors to automatically update information, cloud technology for storage, and blockchain technology to enable trust. But how is the digital product passport being used in the automotive industry? Let's take a look. Well, let's think about repairing or recycling a car. Even though it is possible to fully understand the composition of an individual car model, the components most likely have been changed out during the car's lifetime, causing some obvious issues when it comes to repairing or recycling. This is where the power of the digital passport comes into play. Information about the car's component are stored in the cloud, accessible via a unique product ID. This information provides detail that facilitates the servicing of the car, be it on accessing the right parts or putting them into the right channels for remanufacturing or recycling, ultimately enabling a higher value circular economy. Lastly, I would like to talk about new technologies that advance end-of-life treatment and recycling. This includes collection, disassembly, sorting, reverse logistics, and recycling itself. Let's look at an example. Just to consider the number of hours required to take a car apart manually, not to mention the tedious nature of the task. Sorting robots can reduce the time to half that of human sorting. Combining computer vision and deep learning, sorting robots can recognize the unique characteristics of material, saving time and improving accuracy and consistency. The benefits are significant. Car recyclers can streamline the actual recycling process, which helps to improve the quality and value of recycled materials. Car manufacturers therefore have access to more and higher quality recycled materials, helping them to improve circularity and reduce carbon intensity.
These are three great examples of how technology can impact the entire value chain of the whole mobility sector. From research and development to manufacturing to end-of-life treatment and recycling. From vehicles to infrastructures, roads, rails, telco, charging stations to green energy, plus many other technologies such as IoT, 5G, edge computing and artificial intelligence. All of these are enabling the true reinvention of the mobility sector. This technology provides enormous potential to decarbonize at speed and at scale. Technology also presents a major opportunity for mobilities companies to redefine their role and reshape demand on mobility usage. For consumers, this means more sustainable, circular and efficient mobility. For governments and citizens, enhanced traceability and transparency will create trust and give them confidence that climate change issues are being addressed. New business model and cross-industry ecosystem will lead to more innovation and efficiency. This technology-powered transformation required each C-level to really reflect on some key questions. What is our purpose? How do we create value for all stakeholders? How do we embed technology and sustainability at the heart of our strategy on investment? How do we work collaboratively across the ecosystem? How do we share data in a consistent and responsible way? And finally, how do we attract, reskill, and retain the talent needed to enable and sustain this reinvention? The mobility sector is really uniquely positioned to play a leading role in accelerating the transition toward a low-carbon and circular economy.
Thank you, Jean-Marc and Alexander. Sustainability will create the most powerful force of change in our generation, transforming how we live and work and driving new value and growth. So where do companies and their partners need to start? There are 3 actions for all of us to take. First, set your agenda and ambitions for your technology and sustainability transformations. The technologies we highlighted today are just a snapshot of the innovations available. And with each of them, we have the opportunity to embed sustainability into our core businesses by design. Second, be ready to reimagine and rewrite the fundamental rules of your business. Success with breakthrough technologies often requires new approaches to your value chain, operating and business models, and organizational culture. Be ready to change these based on your values. Third, collaborate at both speed and scale. We must think differently, act boldly, and reach new levels of collaboration. Movin'On is a leading example of how companies can work together differently to accelerate sustainability across an entire ecosystem and with a broad set of stakeholders. I am optimistic about the work that Accenture and our Movin'On partners are doing together. I look forward to what we can accomplish in the years ahead.